Are you ready to move your career forward? Make your comeback with Purdue Global and get college credit for your work, school life, or military experiences. With these credits, you may have already completed up to 75% of your undergraduate degree. You've worked hard to get where you are. It's time to get the recognition you deserve and earn a degree you'll be proud of, one that employers will trust and respect. When you take the next step in your life and career, make it count with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
It's back to everything season on the Today Show.
It always feels so good to get back to it.
Back to all your people and the things you love to do. It's a new season, and you start every morning ready to take it all on.
Hitting high gear a little earlier because there's more of everything to wake up for.
It's back to school.
Back to business.
Back to the feeling that anything is possible.
Watch the Today Show every morning on NBC, because every day needs today.
Back the day, make it all right.
What's good? It's Colleen Witt, and Eating While Broke is back for Season 3. Brought to you by the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. We're serving up some real stories and life lessons from people like Van Lathan, DC Young Fly, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and many more. They're sharing the dishes that got them through their struggles and the wisdom they gained along the way. We're cooking up something special, so tune in every Thursday.
Listen to Eating While Broke on the Black Effect Podcast Network, iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When it comes to business, the people who succeed tend to be the people who seek out partners with skills or knowledge that they don't have. And that's what Lenovo's free online membership program, Lenovo Pro, can do for small businesses. If you're not a tech expert, that's where Lenovo can help. So you can add Lenovo's team to yours and then lean on them for all your tech questions for free. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro.
Lenovo.
Imagine relying on a dozen different software programs to run your business, none of which are connected, and each one more expensive and more complicated than the last. It can be pretty stressful. Now, imagine Odoo. Odoo has all the programs you'll ever need, and they're all connected on one platform. Doesn't Odoo sound amazing? Let Odoo harmonize your business with simple, efficient software that can handle everything for a fraction of the price. Sign up today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hey everyone, it's Amanda Rieger Green. Welcome to this special episode on the capstone month in numerology, September. Why is September the capstone month of numerology? Because September is the 9th month of the year, and anything you add to 9 reduces down to the number you added to it. So if I add 9 plus 8, it equals 17. 1 plus 7 equals 8. If I add 9 plus 2, it equals 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So in your numerology and in the universal numerology, we have a double code, a doubling down, a culmination, critical point, critical mass, crescendo energy this month, numerologically, and it's this way every September. If you have my audio companion for my numerology guidebook, and the numerology guidebook, I say this to you all, and I know I sound like I'm beating a dead horse. Sorry, that's such a bad analogy. Because I just wouldn't even do that, right? But sorry, I'm laughing at myself. But literally, if you haven't bought the guidebook and it's September right now, for me, I go back, I revisit the energies and my personal year and the energies of the year and the number codes, because it like connects dots and it connects things rapidly and quickly, and it helps with cognition, wiring and firing synapses and neurological pathways. And if you're into numerology, this stuff it's amazing. Plus there's great intentions and mantras and crystal recommendations, things to add to your magic and your manifestation and your metaphysical, spiritual, psycho-spiritual toolkit. So if you don't have the guidebook, it's great to utilize, especially into January. And the audio companion part 2, I go through the months of August through January as we cross energy into 2025, which will be a 9-year in numerology. so drastically different from the 8. But the 8, this is like the crescendo point on a universal level and then with your personal year in numerology. And I will break that stuff down and how to do the math around that. I'm sure a lot of you've already done it, but if you haven't, you can go back and listen to episodes to break down the numerology, how to do your personal year. But let's start with the energy of the 8. 2024 is an 8-year in numerology, and September is an 8-month. It's the 9th month of the year, 9 plus 2024, which reduces down to 8. 9 plus 8 equals 17. So 1 plus 7 equals 8. So we're in an 8 personal month, an 8 universal month, and an 8 universal year. So the 8-8 code is happening. What the heck does that mean? The energy is exacerbated. It's amplified, which also means because the 8 is about dichotomy and balancing out dichotomy, if the 8 is about empowerment, there can also be disempowerment, and both energies are very fruitful. And when you balance them out and you learn from the disempowerment and you take action, boom, rapid fire stuff can transform and happen. So it is a month of action. And the sun is in Virgo. Like, no better time to take action, get clear, like pinpoint and take practical action. Quality over quantity goes a long way. And one of the things that has fine-tuned in the energy of the 8, and I've been working with numerology for a long time, like lifetimes, right? I think I've shared this with you all, but I remember the first time that I knew numerology in my soul. It was 2007. I was driving between Tucson and Phoenix. I was in a rental car for work, and I was listening to Sirius XM Playboy Radio. And Glynis McCants was being interviewed, and she's a numerologist, and she's great, and she's really blunt and boisterous, and she just says it like it is. But she had callers calling in, and like she's talking about numerology, and she's like, "What's your birthday?" And she would add up and she'd talk about their attitude number, their life path, and every time she'd say, "Oh, you're a 6 attitude number," it was like, I knew what she was going to say. I knew what the 6 meant, and I had never studied numerology. It was like firing and wiring. I mean, I wanted to pull over the car. Everything just synced up, and it was like, I know this stuff. Like, I know it. I get it. Oh my gosh, this is my language. I get it. And it was opening up psychic abilities and intuition and cellular memory. I mean, it rocked my world. And ever since then, I never had to really study it. I mean, I read things. I followed numerologists. I love hearing different ways of looking at the numbers, but numbers are everywhere. For goodness sakes, they're in the tarot, they're in the I Ching, they're in the gene keys, they're in astrology, they're in math, they're in science, they're in physics. Numbers and their vibrations have frequencies and codes. So this stuff is the coolest thing ever, and it's all about frequency and vibration. And if we are here to evolve and raise our frequency, numbers are such an easy, accessible way to do it. So there's my numerology soapbox, and also my passion, right? So the energy of the 8, here's what's fine-tuned for me in these numbers, because things are like leveling up in the energies and frequencies of numbers. I'm noticing at a very rapid rate. I'm learning and seeing different frequencies. Let me explain it to you all the way, what's been happening for me this year. That's so much fun. And it freaks me out at times because I'm trying to synthesize all this and it can get overwhelming. If you're in a dream state and you see colors and you're like, gosh, that color is so vibrant, or it doesn't exist in the spectrum of color that I know, it's like a new hue of a color. That's what's happening in the energetic field or the frequency field right now. And I'm seeing that with the numbers. So energies and frequencies and nuances of the numbers are starting to upgrade. They're starting to up level. They're moving into higher octaves of energy and consciousness. And it's blowing my mind, and it's fine-tuning something in me, intuition-wise, psychically, energetically. And I'm able to give that gift back, but I'm also finding so much empowerment and personal development. Hello, energy of the 8. So let's go through some characteristics of the 8, and we're going to amp them up. And here are the fine-tuned kind of higher octaves is what I'll go through of the 8. And then we're going to break down everybody's personal year and things to look for and pay attention to this month. So the 8. The 8 is about strength. It's about leadership. It's about ambition. It's about growing, empowerment, moving forward. It's got a lot of oomph and drive. And shoot, it can push freaking too hard, right? It's pushing and wanting to grow and be the best and be in charge and on top. I mean, we love that. There's so much drive with the 8. But the 8 without balance is a hot mess. It's an ego trip. Is what it is. It's a lot of freaking ego. And guess what? We're humans. We need our ego. That fear stuff that's going on in the ego, it's about connecting it with our higher consciousness. And so the balance frequency of the 8 is important. Like if I'm pushing, if I'm driving, but is that push and drive coming from enthusiasm, empowerment, creativity, encouragement, passion, or is it coming from, oh shoot, is it coming from fear? If I don't get all this done, I'm going to be broke. Or if I don't do all this, I'm going to get in trouble, or I'm not enough. If it's coming from there, that's what you want to take a pause and say, wait a minute, I'm fueling myself from fear, and a little bit of fear is a good thing, right? There's some phoenix rising from the ashes in that stuff. But when it gets too much, it turns into an over-exacerbated ego, and can be a losing battle, or it's just a battle, right? And where's the joy in that? Where's the beauty? Where's the compassion, the love? So balance is important. But with manifestation, and even material manifestation, there's an inside job to that, an inner richness, an inner passion and fuel that's like the elixir of life for the 8. So you can produce externally, but if you feel internally empty, there'll be rework with that and lessons to be relearned. So it's matching your passion, your motivation, your why, your meaning with your output. That's the balance there. Keeping those things honestly and earnestly in check is healthy. And with the 8, and this may sound counterintuitive, but I find simplify to amplify, a little goes a long way. Quality over quantity is key. It's like when you got it, use it. When you don't, take a break, redirect, take a pause, because if it's coming from a misguided or fear-based place, it's going to create more work, more consternation, things like that. So the higher octaves that I've noticed in the 8, one is resolve, really developing this deep resolve within our souls. I'm here for this, and I am worthy of it, and I am unique. Like a deep call within the soul that says, yeah, I am uniquely and divinely made, and I am here to evolve and grow and heal. So that resolve comes from somewhere much bigger than us. It comes from something quantum, etheric, collective. And on the flip side of that, we have a lot of chaos in the collective. So really focusing on your inner sovereignty. I love Pam Gregory. She's an astrologer. And one of the things that she says into moving into higher octaves of consciousness, she says, stay on your eagle's perch. And I know exactly what she means when she says that. And now let me break it down for you. In the shamanic medicine wheel, you enter at the reptilian, the snake. Then you move into the panther, the jaguar, the cougar. Then you move up into the hummingbird. And the final exit point, the transcendent point, the integrity point, the oneness point, the ascension point is the eagle or the condor. And they all actually represent parts of our brain, which is fascinating when you look at shamans and indigenous cultures and what they intuitively knew and how it correlates with our brain function. It's mind-blowing stuff. But Pam says, stay on your eagle's perch. And what she means, are you coming from your highest good, the greatest good? Are you coming from this place of looking at the bigger picture, more sovereignty, more coming from a more evolved perspective? Or are you stuck in the muck? Are you stuck in the amygdala, the reptilian brain? What are you seeking? And if you can't be on your eagle's perch, like if somebody has just hacked you off and you can't find your way through this scenario and you're like, I can't be the eagle. I can't be in my integrity. I'm just furious right now. Well, guess what? Then just take a step back and become the hummingbird. And this is the north in the medicine wheel. What do hummingbirds look for? Nectar. They don't look for weeds. They look for nectar. Like we can grasp the nectar of life. So that resolve to me is like, can I be either the hummingbird or the eagle? Can I look for the nectar in this? And how do I create nectar in this situation for myself? And in the energetic frequency I am emitting out into the world. And I said in last week's podcast, when I was talking about the energy forecast for September, I said something about the 8 that I know is kind of harsh, but it's true about the 8. You reap what you sow, meaning it's very karmic. Stuff that's coming up may be from something that we have done or harm we've caused in the past that we're reconciling. It could be very apparent and in your face or obvious. Or it could be like, why the heck is this happening to me? This is not fair. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm so loving. I'm so nice. Why are they, I know how that feels, right? It can be coming from there. Be in your pity party for a minute. Let that process, because next to the resolve is the resiliency. Resolve and resiliency. Like, yep, I can be in the muck for a minute. Let me feel it. Let me process it. And then let me move into either the hummingbird or the eagle, into solution, into nectar. What am I learning from this? How am I growing? How can I shift this pattern of behavior? How can I set a boundary? How can I really get clear on my motive, my motivation? And a lot of that takes honesty. And guess what? Rigorous honesty takes freaking courage. And if any number is going to give you courage, it's the 8. And on the other side of courage is a lot of disempowerment, a lot of stuck energy, a lot of whining. Oh, I don't want to do that because it doesn't feel good. Like, okay, put your big girl pants on, an adult, and take responsibility, because this isn't just about personal responsibility and awareness and evolution. It's about the eagle's perch. It's about rising up. And this is something about like our humanity, our philanthropy, what we are giving with our unique gifts. And this is the year to rise up and reach for stars. Like, reach for stars. You are a star. We are made of stardust. You are stardust. Don't forget that. If you're having a crappy day, it's okay. Have a little bit of a crappy day for a beat or for an hour. I promise you, if you sit, and this is so gross, this analogy is so gross, but I'm going to totally say it. Sit in your dirty diaper, because after 5 minutes of sitting in your you-know-what, you're going to get sick of it. Sit in all of that and let that crap process. Just get angry, get sad, get mad. Like, confront that devil. Like, look yourself square in the eye and say, man, the buck stops here. Let me just be in it, because when I sit in my you-know-what for just a little bit, however uncomfortable it is, it processes resiliently and rapidly. And guess what? Energetically, emotionally, with our emotional intelligence, it takes 12 to 18 seconds to process an emotion. So on a physiological, neurological level, if we sit in our anger and we're not projecting it outwards or refracting it back onto ourselves, and we just sit and I'm like, I am angry, or I am terrified, or I am so afraid or sad. I am sad. Just be in it, because then it actually, it's like you honor it and it moves through. And that's the eagle's perch. Facing your fears and the energy of the 8, that's the eagle's perch. And being honest with yourself, because there's a release point, a surrender point, and we're going to need the surrender as we move into 2025, because that's a cornerstone of the energy of the 9. Let go and freaking let God, or surrender. Cease fighting. And cease fighting is not a cowering down. It is an opening up. So the 8 is teaching us stuff and preparing us for a lot of healing next year, which is going to be harsh, but I'm here for it, right? Y'all are here for it too. So with the energy of the 8, resolve and resiliency. And I would set some intentions, this month, show me my leadership, show me my ambition. And deeper than ambition, I would go to aspiration and ascension. Show me my aspirations, my aims, and how I can ascend. How can I can go higher, brighter, more expansively. And if you're working ambitiously with money or job, professional stuff, your bank account, gosh, when do I feel rich? When do I feel whole, worthy, wealthy internally? What does that look like for you in your mind's eye, in your body? When do you feel wealthy, right? I know this stuff for me. It has nothing to do with my bank account. But the more I notice that cognitively and I allow myself to feel it and notice it over and over again, guess what grows? My resources, my bank account. Sure, I do the work, I do the things, I show up, I budget, I work hard. I actually really work smart, and I work with more passion and creativity than I've ever done in my life. And I felt it transform through the energy of the 8. And I'm becoming more balanced energetically, mentally, spiritually than I've ever been in my life. And I know when I'm out of balance, and I let it process through. And sometimes that's just working out, going to Pilates and breathing. There's a multitude of things you can do, but really look at your inner wealth. And when it comes to strength and that resolve, you are strong. You are here. Do you know what a miracle you are? That you incarnated at this time onto this planet? That you qualified for Earth? We're miraculous. So we are here to grow and evolve with all of our gifts and talents and messiness and nuances. We have divine meaning and purpose, and it was written at the time of conception and birth with what was imprinted in our energy field, and it's playing out, and it's a destiny, right? It's a long game. It's a story of a lifetime, or it's a story of lifetimes past and lifetimes present. All right, enough on the 8. Let's break down the years, because I know y'all want to get into this juice.
This is it, your moment. This is your time to make your comeback with Purdue Global. When you come back with a Purdue Global degree, you create opportunity for yourself, your family, and your future. It's a degree you can be proud of, a degree that employers will trust and respect. Purdue Global offers working adults like you over 175 flexible degree programs to meet your specific career goals. These include associate, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees and certificates. Purdue Global degree programs range from nursing to business to communication and more. Whatever your interest, we have the degree that will move you forward. You have the knowledge, you have the experience. Now it's time to get credit for the work you've done and earn the recognition you deserve with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. You know you're worth it. We do too. So don't wait another second to get the degree that will take your career to the next level. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
It's back to everything season on the Today Show.
It always feels so good to get back to it.
Back to all your people and the things you love to do. It's a new season, and you start every morning ready to take it all on.
Hitting high gear a little earlier because there's more of everything to wake up for.
It's back to school.
Back to business.
Back to the feeling that anything is possible.
Watch the Today Show every morning on NBC, because every day needs today.
Back the day, make it all right.
When it comes to business, the people who succeed tend to be the people who seek out partners with skills or knowledge that they don't have. And that's what Lenovo's free online membership program, Lenovo Pro, can do for small businesses. If you're not a tech expert, that's where Lenovo can help. So you can add Lenovo's team to yours and then lean on them for all your tech questions for free. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro.
Lenovo.
For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living Associates have been committed to creating a vibrant culture and delivering exceptional services, making Brightview a great place to work and live. If you're looking for a rewarding opportunity to serve your local community and grow, we want you to join our team. Brightview Senior Living is growing and actively seeking vibrant associates to join our community teams, including directors, healthcare, activities, hospitality, and dining. Apply today at careers.brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal employment opportunities. Text BV Jobs to 97211 to apply.
It's Ray from the Bobby Bones Show here to tell you that the national sales event is on at your Toyota dealer, making now the perfect time to get a great deal on a dependable new SUV like an adventure-ready RAV4. Yeah! Available with all-wheel drive, your new RAV4 is built for performance on any terrain. Or check out a stylish and comfortable Highlander, seating up to 8 passengers and available panoramic moonroof. You can sit back and enjoy the wide-open views with the whole family. Check out more of this national sales event. The deals are there when you visit buyatoyota.com. That's buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, if you are in a one personal year, and here's how you calculate your personal year, you take your attitude number, so the month you were born plus the day you were born, and you reduce that to a single digit. So if you were born on February 3rd, February is the second month of the year, and you're born on the 3rd. 2 plus 3 equals 5. And if you add 8, 2024 is an 8 year, so you add 8 to your attitude number. And if this person is born on February 3rd, they're a 5 attitude number. So you add 8 plus 5, and that is 13. 1 plus 3 equals 4. You're in a 4 year. So you take your attitude number and you add it to the 8 and you reduce it down to a single digit. That is the personal year cycle you are in. And then we have personal month cycles. So in September, if you're in a 1 year, you're also in a 1 month. If you're in a 2 year, you're in a 2 month, and so on and so forth. So let's go through these numbers. And like I said, there is a blog. I think I said that. There's a blog for this, and it's linked in the show notes that goes through each of the numbers, the personal year numbers, and their basic characteristics. It's just a synopsis, but it's a really good foundational roadmap for high vibes and blind spots. So it's a great blog. But I'm going to just go through some of the nuanced energies that I'm seeing this year for these personal years and the vibrations and how some of them are changing a little bit. So if you are in a 1 personal year, 1 is about initiation. It is about setting off on a new path. It is about starting something. It's about your individuality. What can I do? How do I take charge? So the combination of being in an 8 universal year and a 1 personal year, it is empowered and bold and dynamic. It's a lot. Right? Like it's like a double serving kind of energy to me. But with the energy of the 1 forgets to ask for help, and it can get very selfish and self-centered, stuck in its own rut. I've got to do this. I've got to do this on my own. I, me. And I, me is important in the 1 year, but it is also not your highest aim, because at the highest frequency of the 1 is oneness, interconnectedness. We are all one. So there's compassion. And the 1 is not logically associated with compassion because it is so bold, individualistic, and dynamic. It's like if you draw 1 on your piece of paper, it's very linear, angular, like it's more masculine looking. But if you think about the 1 like the axis mundi in spirituality is like this axis that runs from heaven to earth, or a totem pole in indigenous cultures. Or you think about a redwood tree. That's like the 1 energy to me, is like a redwood tree. And if you've ever stood in the presence of a redwood, it's mind-blowing. They're huge, like these huge tall trunks, and then these branches that stretch up to the sky and the heavens. And when the 1 evolves, it becomes whole. It becomes one with itself, one with its surroundings, and it feels not just about its ego. It feels like it is interconnected and it's ascending. So if you are in a 1 personal year, It's a really good month to reassess your aims, your ambitions, your aspirations, your goals, and to maybe take some notes. Like, what do I want to see come to fruition between now and the end of the year or the beginning of next year? And what are some practical ways for me on the daily to start taking action towards that? Do I ask for help? Am I using my resources? Because the one can be very resourceful. It just forgets to be. And also to say thank you. Like ones forget, like in a 1 year, they forget to say, oh my gosh, I appreciate you so much. Or wow, you did that for me. Whoa, that took a load off my plate. I'm so grateful for you. Like, so remember to give gratitude, to give thanks, or to make a gratitude list. I'd say that for anybody, but for the ones, make some gratitude lists and do it on the regular, right? Because then you'll go up to that eagle's perch or at least the hummingbird, and that takes you higher. Okay. 2s, if you're in a 2 personal year, I'm like, and I say that with love because I know a lot of 2s. I work with a lot of people in a 2 personal year, or people who have heavy 2s in their numerology. And it's a little sluggish and slow because it's like stop and start energy. It's about ebb and flow. It's about balance and harmony. It's about love. It's about relationships. But at its core, it's about its relationship with itself. How do I become more intimate and whole within myself to create greater love and greater peace? And then how do I get to express that and receive that in relationships? Because where the 2 gets backlogged is giving and showing up and doing, and it freaking forgets to receive. How am I seen? How am I receiving a compliment? How are people responding or reacting to me? I was in Pilates this morning, and we have this guest instructor for my Monday morning Pilates class, which is my jam. It's a hardcore class. Like, we go hard for like an hour. We're like all business. It's like how we start our Mondays, we amp up. But we have this guest instructor, and like, I just can't get into her vibe. And I'm like, what is it about me? It's like when you spot it, you got it. And the reason I'm sharing this is that's so the energy of the 2. You spot it, you got it. And here's the deal. She's a really great instructor. She's really freaking hard. And I love great instructors. I love hard instructors. I also love instructors that tell me what I'm doing wrong with my form because I'm a really quick learner. I'm used to it. I had a sister who used to be like, pull your arms up, Amanda, do this, pull your core in. So I'm like, I'm really good at like taking cues that way. But she's like, pull your shoulders back. No, put your hand here. No, move your butt here, like on the, like, and for some reason in the whole class, like she singled me out. Both times she's taught, she singled me out. Well, I'm a Libra. I'm like, she's hurting my feelings. Why is she focused on me? I'm working so hard. I'm so good at Pilates. Like my ego flying off the chart. Like this is what's going through my brain in Pilates when normally I'm just in my breath and my body. But the 2 is sensitive. We take things personally. So remember this month, if you spot it, you got it. If somebody's picking on you or singling you out, you get down to the core of what the ick factor is in that, because that's where the juice is of what you're learning to incorporate and integrate within yourself. And if I just go ahead and play that tape forward for you, she was singling me out. And I felt this because I felt approachable to single out. There were other women in there that she might not have been as comfortable being like, hey, pull this up, do this. But like there's something about my energy where she knew I could take it. And she also knew that I wanted it. I want you to tell me how to correct and tweak something so I'm stronger. My form is better. I don't injure myself or tweak something. And so while I felt like I was picked on, she was giving me exactly what I wanted, was critiques to be better and be stronger and hold my body in better form. And when I got honest about that, she quit talking to me. Like she quit singling me out. And she was like, and I left the class and she's like, you're so strong. Y'all are so hardcore in here. And like, she was so sweet. So she wasn't calling me out because she was picking on me. She was calling me out because she felt comfortable. She felt like I could take it. So it came from a place of love and also her comfort level. So I went into my crunchy little feeling picked on mode to actually just having a lot of like mass appreciation. So what I took away from that is I like feedback and I can receive feedback and I don't have to feel less than or singled out. I like feedback. How can I integrate and welcome more feedback? And I'm giving you that example because for you twos out there, which is like Libra energy, and I am a Libra, that's what may be coming at you this month. If you spot it, you got it. How can you integrate it? Okay, on to the 3. Oh, 3s. When you're in a 3-year, there's a lot usually that's going on. And I will say this, it can be exhaustive because it's kind of like no rest for the weary. And whether it's extroverted and the responsibilities and the things going on and the things coming at you and the schedule and can you do this? Can we do this? And it's like there's not enough time and energy in a day. That's how the 3 can feel. And the 3 is moodier than all get out. And while the 3s can be bold and extroverted and shine, they are not going to play in the World Poker Tournament because it's written all over their body language. So paying attention to the emotional quality within, do I feel like doing that? Can I practice a little hesitation? And the way I love to explain the 3 is like throwing noodles against the wall. It's a year of throwing noodles against the wall because the 4 year that comes after that is which noodles stick. What needs to be cleaned up and streamlined. This is a year for throwing your energy out, like shooting your arrows out, spreading yourself a little thin because you're taste testing. You're spreading the energy out to see what works, what doesn't work. Even though the 3 is not about data analysis, it's about life experience. And paying attention to your emotions, like when you feel exhausted, when you feel withdrawn, when you feel depleted, when you said yes to something, when you meant, oh, heck no, I didn't want to do that. It's like with the 3 energy, your best course of action this month is to pay attention to your yes and your no. So when somebody says, hey, I'm having my XYZ on Saturday, I'd love for you to be there. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, that's so great, I'll be there. You just take it down a notch and you say, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Thank you for including me. Can I get back to you later today or tomorrow once I check my schedule? Thanks for inviting me. Just practice a bit of hesitation and don't utilize your yes and your no in real time. Say, thank you. Can I get back to you? And then when you get in your car and you go, I don't feel like doing that. I don't want to go do that. I don't have time for that. I want to celebrate them, but that's going to be too much on me. I have other things coming up. That's when you say, thank you for inviting me. Maybe we can do this again some other time or whatever. You use your words because the 3 is about communication. While the 3 is big, bold, and light, and that's what the energy is. It's a wellspring of creativity. But if the communication is not articulate, conscientious, and intentional, it is scattered all over the place, and it's moody. And when we're in a high or a low emotional state, and we're emotional, we are not clear, conscientious, and cognizant. So fine-tune your 3 this month because guess what? You will find magic in that. And the boundaries that you innately set will pave the way for greater happiness, greater joy, greater expression of yourself, however that feels comfortable to you.
This is it. Your moment. This is your time to make your comeback with Purdue Global. When you come back with a Purdue Global degree, you create opportunity for yourself, your family, and your future. It's a degree you can be proud of. A degree that employers will trust and respect. Purdue Global offers working adults like you over 175 flexible degree programs to meet your specific career goals. These include associate, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees and certificates. Purdue Global degree programs range from nursing to business to communication and more. Whatever your interest, we have the degree that will move you forward. You have the knowledge, you have the experience. Now it's time to get credit for the work you've done and earn the recognition you deserve with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. You know you're worth it. We do too. So don't wait another second to get the degree that will take your career to the next level. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
It's back to everything season on the Today Show.
It always feels so good to get back to it.
Back to all your people and the things you love to do. It's a new season, and you start every morning ready to take it all on.
Hitting high gear a little earlier because there's more of everything to wake up for.
It's back to school.
Back to business.
Back to the feeling that anything is possible.
Watch the Today Show every morning on NBC because every day needs today.
Back the day, make it all right.
When it comes to business, the people who succeed tend to be the people who seek out partners with skills or knowledge that they don't have. And that's what Lenovo's free online membership program, Lenovo Pro, can do for small businesses. If you're not a tech expert, that's where Lenovo can help. So you can add Lenovo's team to yours and then lean on them for all your tech questions for free. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro.
Lenovo.
For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living Associates have been committed to creating a vibrant culture and delivering exceptional services, making Brightview a great place to work and live. If you're looking for a rewarding opportunity to serve your local community and grow, we want you to join our team. Brightview Senior Living is growing and actively seeking vibrant associates to join our community teams, including directors, healthcare, activities, hospitality, and dining. Apply today at careers.brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal employment opportunities. Text BV Jobs to 97211 to apply.
This is Doug Gottlieb from the Doug Gottlieb Show, here to tell you Toyota's legacy has been standing tall for generations. From pioneering hybrid technology to redefining the standards of safety and efficiency, with each innovation a commitment to progress. And with a legendary lineup of in-stock trucks, including the ultra-rugged new Tacoma and the heavy-duty half-ton Tundra, you can experience the legacy of Toyota for yourself. Visit buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals, to find out more. Toyota, let's go places.
Okay, if you're in a 4 personal year, and y'all know me, I love the 4 personal year, and I've got an amazing woman in my conscious collective, and she's like, Amanda, I know you love the 4, but I don't love the 4. And she's in a 4 personal year, and she's such a badass, right? She just turned 30, and she started a new business. Like, she's made a big career change, but it's been coming. And if you look at her year, everything has been a step-by-step process. And come September, it's like, I'm freaking tired. When is it going to pay out? Because the 4 is about the darn foundation and the long game. It's not immediate gratification. Everything's coming together. I mean, you'll have those moments, but the 4 is about diligence, persistence, step by step, day by day, solid foundation, and it's about clearing the clutter. The noodles that were all up on the wall last year, you're pulling them down, and the ones that stick, then how do you take action around those? What are my goals? What are my aims? And what am I doing to accomplish that? So if you're in a 4-4 month, which also if you add 4 plus 4, it equals 8. You can add any of these numbers, by the way. So if you're in a 3 month, in a 3 year, 3 plus 3 equals 6, and 33 is a master number. Go back and listen to my podcast on these numbers and use those energies too, because the codes they proliferate, right? There's so many numerological codes here. But if you're in a 4 month and a 4 year, it's also the energy of the 8. 4 plus 4 equals 8. So what does that mean? When you take practical, quality-oriented action, when you set a goal and you start to take step-by-step action towards that, the possibilities are infinite, because that's the energy of the 8, infinity. It's kind of masterful stuff. But the 4 is freaking about practicality, and it is about clearing clutter. Anything that is taking away from your quality of life, your value, your health, your well-being, how can you remove that from your plate? How can you set a boundary, and how can you follow through? Because the 4 is about step by step, day over day, follow through, because you will be in November, December and be like, dang. If you get really honest, wow, I've accomplished a lot. Wow, I've grown a lot. Wow, I've done some hard work this year. Wow, I'm proud of myself. There's deep wholeness and satisfaction when you utilize the practicality of the 4. All right, if you're in a 5 year, bless your heart, and wow, it's amazing, right? It's like both, because the 5 is like squirrel, 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 and the 5 is such an intricate energy. because at its lowest vibration, there's drama, there's dysfunction, there's discord, there's disharmony, there's a lot of exacerbated circumstances that crescendo and blow up in your face or somebody else's. I know that sounds like I sound so doom and gloomy with the 5, because it's not how it has to be, and that's not really the aim of the 5. But if that stuff has been coming up for you this year, this is the month where the rubber freaking meets the road, which means get really honest. Get really honest with your side of the street. When am I communicating in integrity? When am I on my eagle's perch? When am I following through even when I get bored with something? Because the 5 gets bored. And the signature of the 5 energy is its boredom is saying it's time for change, because it's a change maker, a freedom seeker. The 5 is about right place, right time. It's about adventure. It's about freedom. It is about expanding our horizons, leveling us up. But it is really a fine-tuned energy, and it has a lot to do with attitude, integrity, and perception, meaning, okay, do I love what I am doing? Am I enjoying what I'm doing? Or is this really hard and I don't love it, but can I show up and be my best and be accountable and follow through? Or if I've decided it's time for change, time for me to leave, can I be honest about that with myself and somebody else? With energy of the 5, like I said, is right place, right time energy. And when that comes together for people who have 5s in their numerology or they're in a 5 year, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. And then they move so quickly, they don't celebrate it that long. So it's like celebrating your wins, small wins, big wins, when something breaks open or breaks through or comes together. And I don't care if somebody pays for your coffee in front of you. It's like, dang, somebody just paid for my coffee. Like, oh my gosh, the world is an amazing, good place. People are good. And then how can you pay that forward? And pay it forward in compassion and kindness with yourself and to other people. And last but not least, with the 5 energy, the times I have been in a 5 year, or I work with people in 5 personal years, or people with heavy 5s in their numerology, there's a fine tuning to the 5, which should have happened more so in the 4 year. But the 5 is about this kind of nuance or mastery of our own attitude and our perceptions and how we show up for life. Am I showing up wholehearted in integrity? And am I showing up honestly? Or have I outgrown this relationship, this job, this environment, this pattern? And what am I going to do to shift my perspective? And it just takes little tweaks or a decision to shift into a higher perspective and then be accountable to what you're shifting to the people around you. And boom, a new opportunity opens. Boom, a new door opens. It's like a domino effect. So it really levels you up in your integrity, but it's like, otherwise, it's just a bunch of drama and it's kind of exhaustive and it can be heartbreaking and painful. But it's growing you, and it's growing your consciousness is what it's doing. Okay, the energy of the 6, so different from the 5. Man, I tell you what, for me personally, the 6 years have been hard. They've been so hard for me. And some of that's in my numerology, it's in my code, it's in patterns, it's things like that. But they've been years that have been the kind of years where they're the most painful years and the most beautiful years, because it creates truth and it creates true, deep healing. Because the 6 is about healing. It's about wisdom. And sometimes we don't want to be wise, even though we might want to be wise. It's like, no, I just want what I want and I want to do it now. And the 6 is a year of responsibility, and where you can feel like you are beholden to taking care of and being responsible for everybody around you, and you are getting the last short straw or whatever. It's like, I am showing up, I'm taking care of, I'm loving, I'm giving, and I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, I can't, I'm so depleted. So the 6 is about self-care. When am I asking for help? When am I saying, I can't do this, it's too much for me today? It's about setting boundaries. It's about really putting a stake in what you need mentally, emotionally, physically, where you need help from people. And hopefully, because I will tell you this, for me, in the last 6 years I have been in, I didn't ask for help until I was desperate and broken down. And listen, the last time I was in a 6 year was just a couple of years ago. That's when my mother was terminally ill and dying. And it was a rite of passage for me. 6s have been rites of passage for me. My other 6 year was the year that I got sober, and the year everything broke down before I broke through. So they've been really karmic for me. And I'm not saying they're that for you, but they have been for me. And I'm not saying these years are horrible. I'm saying it's where the juice is. It's freaking where your wisdom is, your deepest, deepest stuff. And what does it take? Getting open, vulnerable, and willing to say, I'm a mess, I'm broken, I need help. How can I ask for help? Or how can I set a boundary? How can I show up and give my love and my nurture and be responsible and give care and give wisdom? But how do I first do that for myself? How am I honoring myself and my needs, my health, my well-being? And then how do I get to be of service? So if you're in a 6 year, you're probably tired. You could be taking care of, stuff with kids, or you could feel like you're the mother or the father figure at work and you're responsible for everything and you know what rolls uphill, or you could be taking care of aging parents. It seems to be a year where we end up having to take care of family, relationships. Everything feels like it's just piled on and it's personal and emotional. So before you get to that critical point of desperation, it's like, how can I delegate? How can I ask for help? But how can I really, really nurture myself or receive nurture? So if you ask yourself one question this month, it's, what does nurture look like to me? How do I feel nurtured? How do I give myself nurture? And how do I receive nurture? And then you get to love on, be responsible, nurture other people. Get really clear on when you feel nourished before you give care, love, and support externally. It's important.
This is it. Your moment. This is your time to make your comeback with Purdue Global. When you come back with a Purdue Global degree, you create opportunity for yourself, your family, and your future. It's a degree you can be proud of, a degree that employers will trust and respect. Purdue Global offers working adults like you over 175 flexible degree programs to meet your specific career goals. These include associate, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees and certificates. Purdue Global degree programs range from nursing to business to communication and more. Whatever your interest, we have the degree that will move you forward. You have the knowledge, you have the experience. Now it's time to get credit for the work you've done and earn the recognition you deserve with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. You know you're worth it. We do too. So don't wait another second to get the degree that will take your career to the next level. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
It's back to everything season on the Today Show.
It always feels so good to get back to it.
Back to all your people and the things you love to do. It's a new season, and you start every morning ready to take it all on.
Hitting high gear a little earlier because there's more of everything to wake up for.
It's back to school.
Back to business.
Back to the feeling that anything is possible.
Watch the Today Show every morning on NBC, because every day needs today.
Back the day, make it all right.
When it comes to business, the people who succeed tend to be the people who seek out partners with skills or knowledge that they don't have. And that's what Lenovo's free online membership program, Lenovo Pro, can do for small businesses. If you're not a tech expert, that's where Lenovo can help. So you can add Lenovo's team to yours and then lean on them for all your tech questions for free. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro.
Lenovo.
For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living Associates have been committed to creating a vibrant culture and delivering exceptional services, making Brightview a great place to work and live. If you're looking for a rewarding opportunity to serve your local community and grow, we want you to join our team. Brightview Senior Living is growing and actively seeking vibrant associates to join our community teams, including directors, healthcare, activities, hospitality, and dining. Apply today at careers.brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal employment opportunities. Text BV Jobs to 97211 to apply.
This is Shirley Strawberry from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Toyota has been building a legacy of excellence for years, from developing hybrid technology to upping the standards of safety and efficiency. Toyota is always innovating, always making progress. And with a superior lineup of in-stock SUVs, including the adventure-ready RAV4 and capable, affordable Corolla Cross, you can experience the legacy of Toyota for yourself. Visit buyatoyota.com. the official website for deals to find out more. Toyota, let's go places.
The 7 year. Such an introspective year. I love being in a 7 year. I mean, obviously. Like after I'm out of the 6 year, I'm like, just get me to the 7. Although the 7 brings a lot of like really profound, clear truths a lot of times, because you get very squarely honest with the direction you're going and you want to dive deeper. It's the energy of the seeker, the searcher, and it's like you're connecting the dots. You're wanting to really spend intimate time with yourself. Like you don't always feel like you want to be out in the world amongst people. It's not that you don't show up or you aren't social, but it really says it's a time of solitude, not isolation. Solitude, which means enrichment, like learning. You know, people, a lot of times in 7 years, they'll write a book or they'll do a new course of study. They'll dive deep into something, like dig their heels in and really want to learn it. And deeper than learning something, they want to know it. Like they want to hardwire it in their code. And it's like, whoa, it's enlightening and opening. And I tell you what, last year I was in a 7 year, and, you know, my mom died last year in February of last year. And after about 6 weeks, you know, through all of that, it was like, okay, Amanda, it's time to go deep. It's time to clean house. It's time to go deep. It's time to get back really into your routine, your mind, body, spirit routine, your spiritual routine, your health and wellness. I mean, like your diet, your moving your body, your exercise, your self-care, getting your nails done, like, you know, all, like going to the chiropractor, whatever it is, like making the time to invest in what was creating health and wellness and enrichment and enlightenment and opening up and raising your vibration. It's a very spiritually seeking and searching year. So if you're in a 7 year, really give yourself credit for where you've wanted to dive deep this year, or what your attention and focus has been on. Take some time to assess that and say, what is it that I want to enrich or grow in the months ahead? And how can I do that? How can I carve out the time and it feel solitary, which means communing with yourself and the divine, not isolated? Because the 7 will just say, ugh, I just can't do that. Ugh, I know, I don't want to do that. So it's like, but checking your motives and your motivation are very imperative in that energy. And I'm kind of smiling because my husband is in a 7 year in numerology in 2024. And I was like, as I was saying that, I was thinking about, well, what has he enriched this year? What is he doing? I'm like, that's where my mind is going with that. But my husband's a pretty accountable, routine guy, but there's kind of an enrichment and a depth that's happened and like kind of been reborn within him. Sometimes with the energy of the 7 comes mentorship or guidance. And it's a really good antidote for the 7, because the 7 can be so isolating or solitary that it doesn't share its ideas, its love, its wisdom, or its genius with other people, because it's like, they're not going to get me, or I don't need to do this. So an antidote for the 7 is sharing your genius, being a mentor. And my husband has done a lot of mentor and guidance for people this year. And I love watching what that does in his energy field and for him, because he actually gives a lot of nurture and TLC and great wisdom. And he's this real spiritual guy, but his spirituality is different than mine. But when I watch him, he really has convictions in what he's saying, and he really cares. There's compassion with it, but there's also like a steadiness. So if you're in a 7-year, how are you sharing your wisdom, your spirituality, your depth, whatever that looks like with you, maybe 1-to-1 with people in your life who could use your guidance or support? Okay, if you're in an 8-year, like you already know all the stuff around this, but it means you're in an 8-year personally, and then we've got the 8-year universally. I'm in an 8-year because I'm a 9 attitude. If you have a 9 attitude number, you're in an 8-year. It's the way we roll. Like we're always like double down with the energy. It's again a blessing and a pain in the behind sometimes. But if you're in an 8-year, all the things that I said earlier, those things go. But if personally for you, this is where you are, I'm also like listening to this guidance as I speak it to you all is, okay, where does the rubber meet the road? I know I've said that before, but that's what this feels like, is rubber meets the road. Okay, get very clear about what you want to manifest in the months ahead, what talents you're bringing, what you want to manifest, but deeper than the action you're going to take consistently, because that's really important, is what is the meaning behind it and what is the higher meaning, because that will move some of the fear and the ego out of it into the humanitarian or the philanthropy of it. And so getting clear behind your ambition on what gifts or how you're being of service to the world. And last but not least, about the 8, and I'm not going as in depth with the 8 because I've talked about it so much. One of the gals in my Conscious Collective, she said the coolest thing. She and I both are in an 8-year. And we did this exercise together because we've got a lot of people in parallel years and things like that. And it's been so cool for us to share our experiences from our own vantage point. And she said, you know what, Amanda, if I think about it, like if I look at the first half of the year, it was like I was in the first curve of the 8, like the first wave of the 8. And when she said that, I was mind blown, because the exercise we did, I had to like go back and review, like, what have I done? Because she was telling me the things she's accomplished and where she's failed and where she succeeded. And I mean, like, so cool, right? But she's like, it's like I've ridden the first wave of the 8. You know, if you trace the 8 like the infinity symbol, it's like she rode the first part of the roller coaster and now she's amping up to go through the other. And it's funny, I was like, dang, that's what it's like. So if you're in an 8-year, think of January through like July, August as the first wave of the roller coaster. And then it's like, what are you creating in this next crescendo and wave in the months ahead? And I found that really like visceral and practical for me, because I started to connect dots and I was like, yeah, I got it. And I can ride this wave with more joy, more ease, more peace. And that, you know, like I said, resolve and resiliency are so crucial in this energy field. But more than anything, I want to enjoy my life. And what keeps me from that is fear of fill in the blank. And so get down to, apart from your ambition or your goals or your aims, what you want to achieve, get into the real meat. Like, what is the desire deep in your soul behind the accomplishment that you're setting forth and following through on? It's like, oh, I just want to have fun with it. Or, oh my gosh, I want this because I want more generosity in my life. Like, when you get clear on that, the motivation transforms into something divine. Very cool stuff. Okay, if you're in a 9 personal year, well, I tell you what, probably the last couple of months and into September, you're pretty much like, okay, I got it. This won't freaking fly anymore. I can't stand it anymore. I cannot stand this. I will not stand for this. Because the energy of the 9 is like a snake shedding its skin. So it's on continual energy of suiting up, showing up on your eagle's perch. I mean, if there is any energy that says, is that eagle's perch energy? Like, this would be the energy of the 9, meaning, am I doing this in the highest integrity, with the highest honesty and conscientiousness? Or am I falling short? Am I dishonest? Am I inauthentic? And guess what? You will be all of those things because you're human. Like, this is no shade on that. But the energy of the 9 is intense because something deep within you is saying, hey, these last 9 years, you've just moved through a cycle. You've grown, you've changed, you've transformed, you've evolved. But your clothes, your attitude, your style, the way you behave, the way you communicate, you're not quite acting like what's changed within you. And that's really what the 9 is about. It's like, oh, shoot, that doesn't work for me anymore. Why did I say yes to that again? Or why do I keep putting myself in this scenario and behaving this way? It's like insanity, right? Einstein doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. This is kind of where you come to that point of, shoot, this isn't going to work for me anymore. Okay, what can I do about it? And even bigger than what can I do about it, it's how can I give it to my soul, God, my higher power, my guides, and say, hey, y'all, this doesn't feel good anymore. I don't know how to do this. I'm not sure I have the courage or the words or the clarity around this stuff right now. Help. Show me. I'm open. I'm willing. Show me. And that's that surrender. That's like an opening up. And it's like the more you ask, the more you will receive, and your path becomes clearer and clearer. Will it be easy? Because the eagle's perch sometimes is hard. It's like the path of integrity is the road less traveled. Like, that is what it is. It is Robert Frost, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I had to recite that in 5th grade, and I know the whole thing. And it actually is like kind of paradoxical, the whole thing. But yeah, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. That's the integrity and the wisdom of the 9. It's a culmination point, and it's about really choosing to take the high road and to trust that you're going to have the divine resources, support, people, places, and experiences to guide you through even when it's perilous, because you're doing it from a place that is evolved and wise. Hey, the 9-year ain't for sissies, right? Like, it's a big thing. I mean, try being a 9 attitude and a 9 life path. I have to live this stuff, right? That's why I'm like, can I have a 3? Can I just be a little more lighthearted? Which I do. I know how to incorporate those things. So wherever you are in your journey, I hope this has been helpful, and this is a good 101 on the numbers and the nuances. Just remember, this is a beautiful month for growth and clarity and awakening and awareness. Make a decision this month and take some practical action around it, because guess what? It will have a ripple effect. Stick to it in the months ahead, and it will propel you forward with growth, and it will equip you with what you need. And I'll close with saying this, and it's coming up for some reason. I remember when I was doing my yoga teacher training in 2015, my yoga teacher said to me, and this was when I was preparing to leave healthcare and to do what I was doing. It was a big shift and change, and I was in an 8-year. And 2016 was my 9-year, which is when I left healthcare, like all the things, right? It all lined up, and it, blows my mind looking back, but it makes so much sense. And I also was very aware of my numerology at the time. But she said to me, Amanda, you never know what God is preparing you for. I don't remember what we were talking. I was struggling with something, probably work and my career and profession. It was discernment stuff. And I was sharing with her, and she said, you never know what you are being prepared for. And when I look back on that time, I was like, oh, I was being healed. I was being grown. I was being groomed. And I'm not saying groomed from that gross grooming thing, right? I'm saying like it was like my soul, my higher self was lovingly grooming me. And it was painful and crunchy and salty and confusing and overwhelming. But it was like, Amanda, you never know what you're being equipped for, prepared for in the future. And it's like, yeah, that's the juice of September. That's also the juice of life, right? That's a good elixir for life. Okay, everyone. Definitely check out the blogs, check out the show notes, because we've got all sorts of resources linked. The numerology guidebook, the second half of the audio companion has so much more stuff than this month over month, talking about the numbers and the numerology, because guess what? October is like the precursor energy to 2025. Because if we're in the cornerstone of this year, October is like the preview. You get a little bit of precognition in October. We always do into the year ahead. So it's very prophetic usually and a little strange. It'll have some deja vu for the future. It's kind of interesting. So the audio companion breaks that stuff down, and so does the numerology guidebook. So if you want to dig deeper into this and have some good journal prompts and mantras and intentions and crystal recommendation, that's totally your jam to, level it up or dive a little bit deeper, use your tools. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for listening. All your great questions, your energy, and your freaking magic. Be well. Thank you so much for listening to Soul Sessions. If you've got questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Email us, podcast@soulsessions.me. If you love this podcast and you want to hear more, make sure you're following it, liking and subscribing, and sharing it with other people. Send this energy out. Share it with other people. Remember, you can always get your dose of Soul Sessions. New episodes drop on Wednesdays. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok. It's @SoulPathology. Or check out soulpathology.com. I appreciate you and your light. Thanks for listening.
For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living Associates have been committed to creating a vibrant culture and delivering exceptional services, making Brightview a great place to work and live. If you're looking for a rewarding opportunity to serve your local community and grow, we want you to join our team. Brightview Senior Living is growing and actively seeking vibrant associates to join our community teams, including directors, healthcare, activities, hospitality, and dining. Apply today at careers.brightviewseniorliving.com. Equal employment opportunities. Text BV Jobs to 97211 to apply.
The fall season. We don't have to let it happen yet, because summer doesn't stop in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You can still get out and enjoy 60 miles of beaches, eat in the South's newest foodie haven with over 2,000 restaurants, and have endless fun at hundreds of attractions. Hold on to that sweet summer feeling a little longer at the beach. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Plan your trip at visitmyrtlebeach.com. That's visitmyrtlebeach.com.
You know that feeling when you walk into your home, take a deep breath, and feel new? Well, that's what it's like to use Clorox Scentiva. Because Clorox Scentiva smells like coconut, cleans like Clorox, and feels like energy. It'll elevate any cleaning routine to not just clean, but also make every room smell like a tropical coconut getaway. Discover how Clorox Scentiva's powerful clean and refreshing scents can transform your space. Get yours in coconut or other fabulous scents at a nearby retail store.
It's intern John. Football is finally back, and Safeway's making sure you're the MVP. Spend more time enjoying the game and get your groceries delivered in as soon as 30 minutes. Download the Safeway mobile app to shop for delivery or pickup, plus find hundreds of digital deals and earn rewards points for free grocery items, or redeem up to $1 per gallon on gas at Safeway or participating Exxon or Mobil fuel stations. Safeway, fresh food, local flavors.
Our kids have said to us since we moved to Minnesota, we are far more active than we've ever been anywhere else we've ever lived.
Moving to Minnesota opened up a lot of doors for us.
Just this overall sense of community, of values that, Minnesotans have.
It's a real accepting, loving community, especially with 2 young kids.
See what makes Minnesota the star of the North. New residents share why they love calling it home at exploreminnesota.com/live.